told you, stop taking things so personally? Or, do you find that you often feel guilty or to blame, or like somehow it was your fault when somebody has a negative reaction around you? You just assume their words or behavior are because of you. They're your fault, right? It's time to just it's time to stop assuming that what other people say and do has anything to do with you, anything at all. In all likelihood, their words and their behavior are have nothing to do with you at all. So there's no need to take them personally. So why do we do that? Why do we take everything so personally? There's a reason why we think people's words and behavior are about us. Research indicates that taking things personally often stems from low self-esteem, overthinking, and insecurity. And these things lead to you misinterpreting others' actions and words and viewing them as personal attacks or reflections of your worth. If you're emotionally sensitive or you have past experiences that impact you in certain situations, that also can cause you to perceive people's speech and behavior as if it's something about you, interpret it as if it has something to do with you, when in fact it doesn't. So think about it a little bit. Suppose you don't feel good about yourself and doubt your abilities or choices. In that case, you're likely to assume that someone who speaks angrily or gives you the silent treatment, let's say, or ignores you, is doing that because they don't like you or you've done something wrong, right? But guess what? That just isn't true. It isn't true. In fact, their words and emotions and behaviors are all about them, not you. They're all about them. So these things simply demonstrate what's going on with that person. So even if they have reacted to you for some reason, their reaction is still about them, about what's happening with them. Okay? Let's say your boss lashes out at you. Okay? And you assume that you did something wrong. But it could be that you said or did something that triggered in them a memory. And that caused their anger. That caused them to lash out. Maybe they argued with their partner that morning, or they're afraid they are not going to get the promotion that they put in for, or they're stressed about their elderly parents' health. And you just happen to say or do something that brought up their emotions. And then those emotions got channeled in your direction. But actually, it had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with them. So no matter what someone says or does, even in response to something that you say or do, their behavior speaks volumes about what's going on with them, not with you. So consider if a friend gets angry and seemingly for no reason at all. It could be that they feel jealous of your success, or they compare their weight to your weight, and they're feeling fat, let's say, or they envy your relationship. None of that has anything to do with you. None of it. And maybe somebody ghosts you. You can spend days and weeks and months trying to figure out what you said or did to cause them to want to have nothing more to do with you. Or you can choose to see their behavior as all about them. It's a reflection on them, not a reflection on you. So when you take things personally, you also tend to want to make it right? You think it's your fault or it's something about you, and you want to make that right. Um, in your mind, it's all about you and it's your fault and you want to fix it, right? And I used to do this with my husband all the time. He'd be angry or upset, and I'd assume I did something to cause his emotional upset. I'd try to make it right. I'd keep asking if he was mad at me, or what I had done to make him mad. And in the end, he would confess that he was stressed about work, or he recently had a death in the family. So, maybe he was upset about that. But it didn't have anything to do with me. I just assumed it did. I had a friend who did ghost me, and she refused to tell me what I had done to cause her to suddenly back away and want nothing to do with me. And ultimately, I realized her reaction was about her, not about me. I didn't know what I had done wrong, and whatever it was that I did that she didn't like wasn't done intentionally. So nothing was really my fault that I could see. So I just stopped blaming myself. And I saw this about her, and it gave a reflection on her, right? Now, there are cases where you have to take responsibility for yourself, okay, and apologize and make things right. Because sometimes we do things wrong, or we do things that another person chooses to be upset about, and it's their choice. It is. But if you know you did something wrong or hurtful, so maybe you forgot somebody's birthday and you upset that person, or they chose to be upset by the fact that you forgot their birthday, you can and probably should apologize. Okay. But if they choose to see you as a bad friend because you forgot their birthday, don't take that personally. I have a sister who used to do that. That's their judgment call. That's their perception that somehow you're not a good friend because you forgot their birthday. But really, it's about how they see themselves. They see themselves as someone unworthy of being remembered, or somehow unworthy, or whatever. And when you forget their birthday, it triggers them. Now you can't control how they feel or how they view you. You can only control yourself. Okay, so you can try to do a better job of remembering birthdays, specifically theirs, which is what I did with my sister, because I'm not good at remembering birthdays. Or you can admit to them and yourself that you're just someone who's not good at remembering birthdays, and then be okay with that, and know that their issues around people remembering their birthdays are their issues. It's about them, not about you. So, maybe their mother never remembered their birthday. So you forgetting triggered some old memories related to that childhood event. I mean, you have no idea what's going on there. Now, it's important to understand that you take everything personally because you want to control how people perceive you. Okay? You think everything other people do and say is about how they see you, how they perceive you. So if someone says or does something that you interpret as they don't like me or how I behave, you want to control their perception. You want to make them like you, right? But you wouldn't be concerned about their perception if you liked yourself. You see, this is about you. You care about that because you don't feel okay about yourself, right? If you really liked yourself, you would say, what they think of me is none of my business. I'm happy with myself. That's what matters, not what they think of me. Anyway, you can't make them like you, and their perception is their own. They may see you and your reaction to them and take it personally. They might, but you're too busy taking their reactions personally to realize that. So ultimately, the result of taking everything so personally is always the same. You feel shitty about yourself. You assume you are to blame in some way. You perceive yourself as bad, not good enough, at fault. That doesn't feel so good, right? So when that happens, you become obsessed with being good and getting it right and becoming good enough and making it right. You get into a cycle of overthinking overthinking whatever it was that happened and analyzing it repeatedly to determine how you could have done anything differently. You decrease your self-esteem in the process even more and increase your insecurity. Imagine seeing someone react to you in a way you perceive as a personal attack, on your character, let's say. And Are you going to stand tall and proud of who you are? Or are you going to slump and try to hide your shame or guilt because you think this is all about you? Grow up. Grow up. You aren't a baby anymore. Babies believe the world revolves around them and everything is about them, but you're an adult. You're an adult. So admit that not everything is about you. In fact, sometimes things are about someone or someone else. It's not always personal. If you do that, you're going to find it much easier to develop healthy relationships with others. And more importantly, it's going to be easier to develop a healthy relationship with yourself. And last, I'd say employ Mel Robbins' Let Them theory. Mel Robbins is an awesome author and speaker, and she has a new book called The Let Them theory. And here's the crux of how I'd use this. If someone doesn't like what you say or do or has a negative opinion about you, your goals, your relationships, your choices, your way of showing up in the world, just let them. Let them. Let them have that perception. Let them have their opinions and perspectives. After all, you can't control how they perceive you. And that's all about them anyway, how they perceive you. And then decide how you're going to intentionally respond. And this is the second part of her process. So first is let them, and then it's let me. What are you going to do? Say, let me, and follow that statement with an action you want to take. Maybe you say, let me forgive them. Let me remember that their opinion of me is no reflection on who I really am. Or let me choose to spend time with people who appreciate me, see me for who I am, and don't judge me. That's about you. That's about your choices. You can control yourself, but you can't control how other people see you or react to you. And when you stop taking everything so personally, you free yourself from guilt. You free yourself from low self-esteem, from insecurity, from overthinking, and constant worry about how you're being perceived. You regain your power, and you stop overreacting to other people's emotions and behaviors. So think about it. How would your life change if you stopped taking everything so personally? How would it change? It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I would love for you to tell me in a comment down below. How would your life change if you stopped taking everything so personally? So this is just one of those issues that a lot of my clients come to me with, is they're taking everything personally and they see everything about them, but it's not. And the only one you can control is you. So if you want to learn how to step into your personal power and control the things that you can control, which is you, and how you respond to them, the let me part of it, reach out to me and let's have a chat about working together, about hiring me as your coach, as your transformational coach, or as your certified high performance coach. I would love to work with you one-on-one and to help you to step into your personal power and freedom so that you can feel confident about being yourself and stop worrying about what other people think and do and say, because that's their issue, not yours. So if that kind of thing would interest you, if that would make a difference in your life and you don't think you can do that on your own, click on the link above and let's have a short chat and see if we're a good fit to work together. What I love to do is to help people decide who to be. Okay, I believe that you're a spiritual being having a human physical experience, that you are a creator. I believe we are all creators and that we're part and parcel of the divine creator and we have a creative ability. And the issue is that we're too busy doing things like thinking that somehow we're at fault of everybody else's behavior, trying to control everybody else's behavior and how they see and think us, along with a whole lot of other stuff, to actually create what matters to us. So it is my great joy and honor to help my clients step into being the type of person who can do the things that help them create what matters to them, help them choose an identity, how to show up in the world, first and foremost as a creator. It might also be as a writer or an author, uh, as an entrepreneur, as a better partner, right? So if any of that interests you, like I said, click on the link above and let's have a quick chat and just see whether my coaching is appropriate for you. Okay. And if we're a good fit to work together. I'm going to put a second link up above, and it'll tell you about the 3 different ways that you can work with me as a transformational coach, a certified high performance coach, and with my inspired creator community, which as I shoot this video on Easter Sunday, 2025, right now the doors to the inspired creator community are closed, but you can get on the waiting list so that you're one of the first to join the community. It is the best way to work with me um, for 6 months at a reasonable cost, and to learn how to step into being someone who can create what really matters to you. So that link will be up above, 3 different ways to work with me. And yeah, stop trying to control everyone else and control yourself. Okay, stop thinking everything is about you. It's about them. It's about them. Opens up such a different perspective on people and how they behave and how they speak, all of that. When you realize it's all about them, even if you trigger them, it's still about them, right? So, anyway, that's it for today. I hope you found this video useful. And until I talk to you next time, as always, go out there and achieve more inspired results.